I just felt like making a little video because I kind of like doing talking blogs where I just talk about cars sometimes when I'm not like, doing the live videos now that YouTube has live video. And basically, the Dodge Demon is all the talk right now. And when I really thought about it, one of the reasons why this car is so much hype right now is simply because when you look at the rest of the market, there's really not shit coming out. I mean, Lamborghini is building a Urus, which may appear at the International Auto Show, but most people don't have $400,000 to spend on a Lamborghini. When you really look at the rest of the market, there's nothing else exciting coming out at all. Supposedly, Tesla has their Model 3 coming out eventually, which the waiting list is going to be ridiculously long. And then you've got a lot of these people pulling their deposits because they're angry that Elon Musk actually has to work with the Trump administration in order to secure the future of electric vehicles that Tesla's building. Tesla's in danger of unionizing, and if they unionize, the cost on their cars is going to skyrocket. But I digress. Other than that, when you look at the rest of the market, there ain't shit coming out. We found out that Dodge has the Durango SRT coming. I have an uncle who's interested in one. He wants to trade out his Navigator, and he's angry that Ford hasn't put a V8 in their new Navigator. They have that shitty V6 with those twin hair dryers in there. Nobody wants that. We want V8s. I mean, the thing about it is, if you're spending $70 or $80 or $90,000, I want what I want. And no goddamn greener liberal is going to tell me what I want and they're going to deny me what I want. I'll take that money and I'll buy what I freaking want, period. So the Demon, as we are seeing, is going to basically be an overpowered Challenger Hellcat with a wide body. Some people are liking the styling. Some people are not liking it. Some people say, oh, well, all they did was slap bigger wheel wells on there. But, ultimately, the reason why I wanted to make this video is because I actually wanted to talk about the cost of ownership of an SRT vehicle. I have a cousin who wants a Scat Pack. I have friends who, they're so sick and tired of seeing all these shitty Japanese cars, all these ugly Acuras and all this ugly shit. They want American muscle, but they can't afford it, mostly because of the gas, partially because of the insurance. So I just want to talk about the cost of ownership real quick. There are many people who criticize me about buying Mopar, and they say, oh, I'd never pay that kind of money for a Dodge product. A Hellcat, such as this one that I purchased that did not have the moonroof, $76,741. When you're doing a $70,000 loan, you're basically looking at payments of about $1,000 a month, depending upon what you put down. That also goes pretty much for any car that you buy in the $70,000 range. It could be a Mercedes S-Class, it could be a BMW, whatever that's used, a Mercedes S-Class used, an Audi A8, a Lexus, whatever. So per month, $1,050, and the insurance cost is $315. The reason why I'm doing this video is a lot of people won't give other people straight answers about cost, but me personally, I just don't care. I'll tell you what it is. If you ask, I'll tell you. I just don't care. So that's what you're looking at. A Charger Hellcat or even a Challenger Hellcat is going to cost you about $1,000. Now, I know people who've gotten payments upwards of $1,200, which I think is insane. But even when you think about $1,000 per month, that's a lot of money. And for some people, depending upon where you live, $1,000 a month is a mortgage, especially if you live, like, say, upstate New York or something. So when you factor just those two factors together, you got $1,050 a month plus $315. So right there, that's your insurance. So that's close to $1,400 a month before you even start putting gas in this freaking thing, and it gets 8.8 miles to a gallon. You can get a little bit better if you're on the highway, but typically I don't see anything better than that here in New York City because stoplight to stoplight. But I'm trying to keep the miles as low as possible by not driving it because I don't know. I may trade up for a Demon. And then there's the Jeep SRT. $64,895. There are about $2,000 or $3,000 more in options that you could add on. But when you really look at the entire sticker and you get to the total price, it comes out to about $71,970. Now, you add in the taxes and the dealer fees, if there are any, and God knows what you're trading in or if you're getting a brand new loan and the interest rate. When everything's said and done, a brand new Jeep SRT can be anywhere between $74,000 and probably about $80,000. It could be anywhere between there. So the question I get a lot is, well, how much does it cost you a month? And to answer that straightforward, it's $1,030 per month. The insurance, however, is cheaper. It's only $260 per month because unlike the Hellcat, which also has a red paint color, the Jeep has crossover status, or Suburban is written on the actual registration. So they don't consider it a performance car. It's considered an SUV. And as you know, like cafe laws were beaten by like GM and Ford by building SUVs in the first place, because what they basically did was they took a body on frame truck, they threw a third row onto it, they made a better interior, and then that's how they were able to get away around the cafe laws, because they knew that all they knew how to do was make big V8s and big V6s, and that this four-cylinder bullshit, they were leaving that up to the Japanese. So simply put, this truck gets about 9 miles to a gallon. Now, some people say, oh, yeah, you shouldn't call it a truck. You shouldn't call it a truck. The thing weighs 5,200 pounds. I think that's more than some of these F-150s. And even though it has fast steering and all that, the damn thing feels like you're in a truck most of the time, unless you're moving fast. Then it feels okay, like it's a smaller SUV, because it's moving so fast and it's able to steer so fast that it doesn't feel big and heavy. But the thing weighs 5,200 pounds, and that's without anything in it. Once you add me to it, you add cargo, you add a passenger, my girlfriend or something like that, you add all her shit into the back, you might be like 6,000 pounds for all I know. But that's basically what you're looking at. You're looking at 9 miles to a gallon for either one of these things. Now, some people are getting a lot of miles per gallon because they live out in like Texas or Arizona and they're just doing highway miles. But that's what you're looking at. So either one of these things is going to cost you like no less than $1,300 a month. So, once again, why am I making this video? Well, I'm making this video because I want to be informative. I want to be upfront. I want to also serve kind of not really as a warning, but I do want to serve as a cautionary tale to anybody who goes out and plunks down a deposit on one of these things. You have to know what you're getting into. First of all, this thing's going to be most likely more expensive than the regular Challenger Hellcat. You're better off damn near getting a Hellcat, but the thing about it is, because the Demon is new and because it has those upgraded looks, everybody's going to want that instead, even though most likely there'll be a body kit where they can just upgrade their current Challenger Hellcat and put those things on it. But nobody wants to do that. People want the real McCoy. The tires on this car are going to be OEM factory tires. Nobody is going to want to drive around in one of these damn things if you don't have those Demon tires. I mean, if you have regular Demon, but you don't have the Demon tires, I mean, that just looks bad. When you go to the car shows, you got to have the Demon tires. So you're looking at between $300 and $400 per tire, because these aren't going to be cheap tires. Now, even if that number's inflated, the regular tires that I already purchase are already more than $275 in many cases per tire. Now, some people try to get away from the OEMs because they know damn well it's too expensive. But me personally, I prefer my device to work exactly as the factory intended. So I stick with OEM brakes. And there's a lot of brake dust, but I stick with them anyway because it stops like a motherfucker. And I prefer never to have to worry about them saying, hey, your warranty's canceled because you were stupid and you took all that aftermarket garbage from like Alteza and stuff and you put that on your car, so now your warranty's canceled. So I don't have time for that. If you plan on getting one of these cars, you already should understand that this thing costs more than $1,000 per month and is going to carry an insurance cost most likely of more than $200 to $300 per month. Now, I live in New York City, so yes, insurance is going to be higher because there's more of a likelihood of me either getting pulled over by the cops, since when they see like a black guy in a bright ruby red car and that shit is really fast, it's like, they just start following you, waiting for you to do something. Now, other than that, the possibility of some asshole hitting you in the back with their piece of shit Camry or their stupid Honda Accord and then doing more damage to you than their car is even possibly worth, because your car costs over $70,000 and their little piece of shit was only like $21,995, and then they leased it, so they're only paying like $200 a month. And now you got to deal with the $500 deductible and all this, and they don't even have enough money to cover getting back and forth to work on the bus. So anyway, What I'm trying to say is you got to remember that this thing's going to be expensive. It's going to be really expensive. My recommendation is if you're planning on buying any property, buy the property first. Like if you want to buy a house this year, like if you've got a woman and y'all somehow crawled from under your student loan debt and you're going to buy a house together and, have a bunch of homeless kids, what you should do, buy the house first before you even consider buying one of these things, because this thing will screw up your debt to income ratio. Why am I saying that? I know a lot of people who keep on questioning me. They're like, oh man, is there a way I can get out of the loan? Because I want to buy this. I want to move with my wife, my little sweetheart. But if they bought the house first, they would have the larger debt and then they'd be able to buy the smaller debt later. If your debt to income ratio is higher than 43%, Dodd-Frank basically fucks you to the point where you can't easily get into a large home loan because your debt to income ratio is too high. And that's their way of keeping student loan owers or debtors from being able to buy into property. And I think the Trump administration is going to tear down Dodd-Frank, but right now he's waiting a little too long. I want him to hurry up and do it now. So far, Trump is making me very happy. I want to see him tear down Dodd-Frank, and then the Democrats will talk all that shit about, oh yeah, well, he's making it easier for Wall Street. No, idiots. The problem is that these student loans are such a big problem that a lot of people aren't going to be able to get from under them. And I'm saying all that to say this. If you want to buy one of these cars, buy property first, buy your house first, then turn around and buy this car. In the end, you're going to be stuck in one of these loans for like 6 or 7 years. Buy your property first, buy the car second. If you don't listen to me, you're screwed. So buy the property first, buy the car second. Now, once again, this thing's going to be over $1,100, possibly $1,200 per month. You're going to be incurring ridiculous costs to repair tires, oil changes, et cetera, et cetera. So my Jeep, for instance, had the first 2 oil changes free, the first tire rotation free. But at 15,000 miles, you're facing a $400 bill because now it's not free anymore. And now you've got to, start paying your way. And they have to do a transfer case fluid check at 15,000 miles or whatever. $400 is nothing really for me. I mean, that's like 1/4 or 1/5 what I make on YouTube every month. So that's okay. For some people, that $400 bill at 15,000 miles those 15,000 miles might come quick, and that bill might hurt some people. So I'm just trying to be upfront. I'm trying to tell you this is what you can expect. So the New York International Auto Show should be coming in a couple months. I'm obviously going to be there. I'm obviously going to be videoing the shit out of the Durango and the, the Demon and whatever else they have there. Because frankly, there's nothing else on the market worth a damn. Nobody gives a shit about no Alfa Romeos. Nobody gives a damn about... I don't even know if Lexus made anything new. Nobody cares about no Acura. They got a new face on the TLX. The thing's a joke. They're all jokes. Nobody cares about it. Nobody wants these stupid crap econo cars. What they want is they want some goddamn American muscle. They want to be like Vin Diesel doing burnouts and shit in front of Taco Bell. That's what they want. And the thing about it is half y'all can't afford it, half y'all are stuck in loans, and the other half are like, you're so deep in student loan debt you're never getting out of it. You're going to be indentured servants to the system for a long time. So all I'm saying is you got to be smart with your money. I know you want one of these things. I know you want a Scat Pack. I know you think that you can deal with just a Scat Pack and you'll just debadge it and nobody will know that it's not a Hellcat, and you'll put the Hellcat hood on and you'll paint it. I know you think you can get away with it, but if I catch you on the road, I'm going to let you know that I see you. And everybody's going to let you know that they see you, because when we pull up on you, we're expecting to see OEM equipment. So don't play around.